Hi everyone, this is Rusty Dog and welcome to the second in-depth re-engineering video. This time we take a look at my exploration Anaconda. So I reckon we should be able to get some better figures from this like we did yesterday with the Corvette. And why don't we find out? We are in outfitting at the moment, but I've just blanked off all the writing just to give us a nice view, so let's just bring that back. Okay, so here's the figures. I've got them all written down. We have a top speed of 248, the boost speed of 331, total mass of 603.9. Our jump range is easy to remember 62.62. The power we are putting out, retracted or deployed, doesn't matter because there's no weapons. It's 14.98 out of a maximum of 15.6. The other numbers we need to look at are here in the stats. The shield health 301, resistances, kinetic, thermal and explosives, you can see there. The armor health is 945 and it also has its own set of resistances. Now then, this is not a combat ship, it's an explorer ship, so the armor resistance isn't really that important, so those minus figures shouldn't worry you necessarily. The shield health, you can run an exploration ship without shields, so you really don't need to have them, but it's always advisable to have them, because if you're ever landing on planets, you don't want to keep losing hull every time you land if you don't land properly, especially if you find a high gravity world or something. So you need a little bit of shielding, even though it's going to add weight. But the shields we have on here are standard, they're not bi-weaves. So I think what we should do first is possibly change these to bi-weaves if it's going to give us some extra mass. What's the mass on this? 5.79. I might look at changing these to bi-weaves. See, right now I don't know whether changing them to bi-weaves is going to lower the mass, and if it does, whether it's going to increase the jump range. So I'm going to go and check that out and then I will be back. Right, I've been to check the bi-weaves and they are 20 tons as opposed to the ones I've got on now, which started as 8 tons and now is 5.79, so that's a no-go. Right, so we better get going then. I've got 100 iron and I'm ready to go on the Anaconda. Now, thankfully, the Anaconda is nowhere near as what can we say, spec'd out. It's nowhere near as spec'd as the Corvette. It doesn't have any weapons, doesn't have hull reinforcements, so we don't have to go through all those repetitious things. So it's a lot simpler. There's a lot less to get through. Now the two things I'm going to be focusing on here, of course, is maintaining and improving my jump range, and thermals. Why thermals? Well, because the cooler the ship runs, it means when you jump during exploration, when you're jumping from system to system, from star to star and scooping all the time, means you can get a little bit closer to the star, which allows you to scoop at a faster rate, and your ship won't heat up as much because it's got a less thermal signature. So right now, when this ship's running in Super Cruise, its thermal signature is 22%, which is not bad. If I can get that down, then that'll be great. There may be some mods where I have to choose between mass and thermals. I'm probably going to go with the mass on that one. But if there's any mods that I can improve the thermals on, then I'm going to be taking those. Right. So, I guess we better start. And we're going to start with engines. Now this has got dirty drives on it. From the thermal point of view, it's better to go with clean. Gives you a thrust increase. Now the fact that this ship has got a top speed of 248 and a boost of 331 is really unnecessary on an exploration ship. I guess the only time you'd need that is to escape interdictions in case anybody wants to kill you when you come back and you're going to lose all your exploration data. But in the main, clean drives. So we might change this to clean drives, which means going from grade 1 all the way through to 5. So let's convert the module first. That's going to drop our speeds and whatnot down. But if we take a look at grade 5 dirties, we'll see the thermal load we're suffering here. It's a 60% increase, really. So our thermal load is going from 195 up to 208. On the clean, the thermal load is going from 195 down to 0.65. But it affects the mass. This affects optimal mass. I'm willing to try the clean. Now, if I start clean drive tuning, does this get reset back to 1 again? Like if I go all the way through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clean, and then I think, nah, prefer the dirty ones, do I have to start from scratch on here again? Well, I don't know. That's the answer to that. So putting on the cleans might give me optimal mass. It's orange. That's not going to change then. What I'm going to lose is integrity, power draw, and optimal multiplier. Not going to change optimal mass at grade 5. I'll be improving here, but once I get to here, it seems to take that away from me. See, it says you. Oh, okay, right. So on grade 1 you can go up to that much. Grade 2, not so much, not so much, not so much, and then pretty much back to where you were. Yeah, and this one affects optimal mass. Did I click on drive strengthening last time then? Yeah, I must have clicked on that. Okay. So optimal multiplier, thermal load. I'm not really bothered about power draw. If we take a look here, my power draw is only 82% usage throughout. And you'll see the thrusters take 32% of that. Clean doesn't necessarily mean it's going to take less power. Sorry. I think the clean and the dirty should have been put together and not have the drive strengthening put in between. So the power draw here is 514 and this one is 532. So it is gonna pull more power. Integrity is down to 64.68 on the clean and 65. So integrity slightly better. Optimal mass here is 551. This is 567. I think slightly better. I think we're going to go with the clean on this one and have the thermal load, because I'm not fussed about top speeds and boost speeds. That doesn't have to be better for me on an exploration ship. thermals and jump range is my interest. So I'm going to try switching. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to try switching to clean. And see, I want to see what the overall mass of the ship is afterwards. So let's do the clean. Yeah. If I don't do it, I'm not going to find out. Ooh, there's a new screen. So that's my answer. My grade 5 G5s will... My grade 5 G5s. My grade 5 dirty drives will disappear. Do it. Wow, optimal mass looked like it went round the other way. Okay, now we're going to do grade 2. Now grade 3. Nice, 1 roll. Probably have to do 2 rolls here, I think. Maybe 3, depending how good a roll we get. No, we've already unlocked 4. See, the thermal load is going to come down a lot. But we won't know what effect that's going to have until we have the ship in Super Cruise. And take a look at the thermal signature. I'm sure we're going to use up a lot less iron than we did on the Corvette. As I said, no weapons to do, no shield boosters to do, no hull reinforcements to do. This though, I want to really push because it's thrusters. Yes, it's going to take more power draw. So that percentage that you saw, was it 36? That's going to get even worse now. Dirty drives are more efficient on power. However, we do have experimentals here. So now the thrusters are taking 2% more. As you can see, the usage is now up to 84. Let's have a look at the info. Mass is 8 tons. Power draw 532. Thermal load 0.5. Okay, let's see what the experimentals are. Thermal spread, again, another 10% off the thermals. However, we will be losing mass. Let's have a look at the jump range right now. With 62, it still is. Okay. Stripped down, this takes off mass. Doesn't have any downsides. Drag drives will give us some speed back. However, at the cost of the thermal load, which is no good. Integrity. And here we go, optimal mass. Enhanced fuel and thrust balancing across the drives to improve mass curve efficiency. Now what does that mean? Enhanced fuel and thrust balancing. Now does that mean I'll be using up less or more fuel per jump? Enhanced fuel and thrust balancing across the drives. Let's stick it on. See if that's changed anything. Hasn't changed my jump range. Oh, I say it hasn't changed my jump range. Remember the bug? Let's come out of here. Yes, this horrible bug, which really is annoying. So we've got to come out and we have to do a quick mode switch back into the group. Instance swapping, whatever you want to call it.
Incoming message.
Right, let's just get to the engineer's workshop first. Okay, let's pop over and see where we are. So it hasn't changed at all actually. But the thrusters, enhanced fuel and thrust balancing across the drives to improve the mass curve efficiency. The mass is still showing as 8 tons and the optimal mass has gone up, I think, to 623.7. Thermal load is still good. Okay, I'm just curious to have a look at the other experimentals just for a second. This is going to increase. I don't want to increase the mass really, but this is the mass of the. It's just going to put it up to 8.4 tons. Integrity, thermal load is what I want to keep. This one takes it down to 7.2 tons. So let's put that on. Now that's not going to make a lot of difference. Yes, it is. 62.7 now. So it's 0.09. But it has increased the jump range and we've got better thermals. So there it is. That's the one I'm going to keep. Let's move on. The big one. Frameshift drive. Right, so we need to note this new number down then, which is 62.71. I'm slow at saying that because I'm writing it down, just to be sure. Okay. This is the one I have to push to its absolute max. No question. So, let's see. I am not expecting a great deal of improvement here. We're at 62.7. I'll be happy. I'll be very happy if we hit 66. I'll be very happy with that. I can't say that I'm expecting it though. If anyone can explain to me how this optimized mass works, I would appreciate a comment on the video, because it seems the higher that it goes, the better. I think this means that the FSD can support a bigger mass, and therefore it's better with the mass you have. So let's push this. Right, we're complete. Before we put an experimental on, let's take a look. Right, we're going to have to jump out. I hate doing this. This has to be fixed for beta 3, please. Okay.
Incoming message.
Yeah. 62.5. Not as good. 62.71 before. Not as good. So we're basically relying on the experimental. Wow, that surprised me. Does that mean I just got an amazing roll before? Because this certainly isn't better. So I think we're looking at this one, the mass manager, because the optimized mass is where it's going to count more than this. Thermal is another one to look at, again 10% off. Right, let's see where we are now. 62.54. Do we have to log out again? I don't know. I'm just going to do it just in case, because that should have made a difference. I'm actually really disappointed with this.
Incoming message.
I'm assuming on other mods we'll be able to strip down some of the mass. I don't know. Oh, hello. There we go, 6504. So we did get a good increase. I said we wouldn't get to 66. I said it would make me happy if we got it, because I wasn't expecting to get it. And we didn't. So, yeah, that's that. Power distributor. Right, now, this has got engine focused. I'm not really happy with it, if I'm honest. I want to push this further. I want to push this all the way to 5 because my distributor is running out too quickly on the engines. I can't recharge fast enough. No, let's have a look at this one. Okay. So this will alter my engine recharge by 45%. It looks like it's going to increase my capacities as well. Engine capacity down. See, the problem I'm having right now with the distributor, it's the weakest part of the ship, is when I boost, I have to wait quite a while before I can boost again. This is why and this is despite being engine focused. Let me have a think. Yeah, I think I want to change. I think I want to come off engine focus. Because here we're losing there. We're on charge. If I get to grade 5, I'm only going to lose on engine capacity. And I think I can handle that. So let's do that. So you can see now the engine focus is reset to 1. Ooh, need 2 rolls on the 2. This isn't a critical thing, but it's actually something I would prefer to have improved over the previous. See if I can see whether when I boost it recharges a lot faster. I'm losing capacity, yes, but I don't have weapons. My shields are minimal. So it's really the engines that I'm concerned about, and yet it's the engines I'm going to be losing capacity on most. Still. If it recharges faster, then I can get that next boost in anyway. Ooh, that was a good one. Almost complete. Did we do it? No. But those numbers, apart from the weapon recharge, are all... Oh no, they're not. They're all 0.01 off. Let's go right to the end. That's it. Now again, well, let's have a look. We can keep increasing the recharge, but we can keep losing capacity as well. Less power draw. I wonder if less power draw also affects your thermals to an extent. Integrity, mass. Let's do mass. We're only taking a ton off, but it's I'm not gonna bother with any more pros and cons mods on this. I just want pros. So flow control gives us a power draw pro, and I think we're still okay when it comes to power draw. Double brace gives us integrity, and strip gives us mass, and this gives us pros and cons. This will take 2% of all the recharges I've got, and give me 8% better capacity. That might not be a bad one to do, because all that recharge that I'm now gained is probably more than 2% over before. And now if I lose that 2%, I'm gaining 6 on capacity. Gaining 8, sorry, on capacity. There's a difference of 6 is what I was trying to say. I'm going to keep it as it is so that I can judge what it's like. If I find that I could do with a bit more capacity and handle a bit less recharge, you know, wait a little bit longer for the recharge, I might come and get this later. But right now, I'm going to hit the strip down one. Because again, like I said, I want to focus on the mass and the thermals. And there's no thermal upgrades for that. On to armor then, clearly lightweight. So I don't need any of this blast resistant stuff. I don't need any heavy duty. I don't need kinetic or thermal. The only one to go for here is lightweight. Which is not lightening the weight. It's just increasing my resistances. Yeah, that's kind of a false description there, I would say. Heavy duty. See, that increases your resistances and gives you a hull boost as well. I don't know if that's at the... It doesn't mention anything about mass because you don't get secondary effects here. I don't need specific resistances like kinetics or thermals on this. Right, the end result of this is 18, 15 and 21%. 6, 5 and 7. I'm going to do this. Hull boost. I don't need this though, because this is like resistances to like weapons and whatnot, and this is an exploration ship. A generic hull boost will be better, in that if I lose my shields or I hit a planet's surface, I'm gonna withstand it a bit better. Yeah, I think heavy duty is the one to go on here, as long as it doesn't affect the mass. So where are we with this? 65.13. Okay, let's generate this. I just want to make sure it's not going to affect this jump range. Because if it does, then we're going to lose it. I'll just strip it off. And I'll just leave the armor unmodded. But I don't mind, you know, a nice kind bonus hull boost if there's no secondary cost of mass, which you would get on the old engineers. They'd probably get a secondary coming up and it would take some mass off. Maybe I can reduce mass with this, maybe I can strip it, who knows. That might be a good reason to apply it, at least to grade 1. Like if it was a mod I didn't need, I would maybe put grade 1 on there, just so I can use a mass reducing or thermal reducing mod. Not sure if I needed to do that roll, but anyway. So we'll get this all the way through. This doesn't have to go all the way to the end. I can get the circle or the clocks almost to the end. I'll go a bit further with that. Taken a while to close that hull boost off. One more. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's pretty much there. Right. Any effect here that we know of? Well, unless we need to jump out and back in. Let's do the experimental. And of course, there is no mass or thermal. Don't need any resistances, so I'm happy with deep plating on this one. As long as it doesn't cost me mass, and it hasn't. So I'm just going to be sure to be sure, and I'm going to mode swap. Just because that jump range doesn't update properly, unless you do. It tends, I think it updates when you do the experimentals, but not when you do the actual modding. No, it's still 6513. But now my hull is a lot better than it used to be. And because we've got no hull reinforcement packages, we can take a look at the new armor number. Now it used to be 945, and now I'm not sure quite what that was. Now the armor is 1377. That is a massive increase. Yeah, the resistances are still in the minus figures. It used to be minus 20, now it's minus 17, so that's a little bit better. Armor thermal was 0, now it's 2.2. Armor explosive used to be minus 40, now it's minus 37. So we got slight improvements on the resistances, but the armor health has gone from 945 to 1377. And that's been done without costing jump range. Happy with that? Yes. Very happy with that. Right, let's move on. So next up is surface scanners, which if we can go fast, long range, wide. Okay, I was hoping for a lightweight. Let's take a look at long range. Now that affects mass, so I'm not going to touch it. I think they all probably do. Yep, they all affect mass, so I'm not interested. For the sake of science, I'm going to run this. Now my mass was my original mass is 130. That's a number to bear in mind. It's going to go up to 156. So we're going to roll that. That gives us an increase on the scan range. Ah, there's no experimentals. I should have took note of that. I was hoping there was one to reduce the mass. Yeah, there isn't. So I want to remove this now, because I've just added mass and I didn't want to. I think that's done in outfitting. Let's have a look. I never bothered to read that text. I don't know why. Is it this? No. It was a surface scanner, wasn't it? What's going on here? I was in the wrong thing. Okay, so we're going to remove that mod. That brings our jump range back up. Alright. So we won't mess with that again. Life support. Lightweight. Grade 4. I don't understand this. Cannot be converted. I think the only way around this then is to dump the mod like we've just done in the outfitting and start from scratch. But what I don't know is whether he can do it. This legacy modification cannot be engineered, grade is too low. Come back once you have crafted a few blueprints. I don't understand what that means. I don't understand why they can't do that. I could probably lightweight this to grade 5. I'm going to have to try it with a different ship. Bring another ship here and see if he can do a grade 5 lightweight. If he can, what I'll do is I'll bring the Anaconda back here, strip the current mod off it altogether so it doesn't have to convert anything, and then go up to grade 5. So we'll take a look at that afterwards. Power plant then. This does not have any mod on it. If I was going to put anything on it, low emissions would be good because you get better heat efficiency. But look at what you trade. Mass. Armored. Guaranteed mass. No question. Overcharge. No mass issue. So, heat efficiency is down. But I'm apply a modification to unlock. So let's apply one. Now let's stick an experimental. Now we can go with stripped and strip it down from 10 tons down to 4.5. Or we can claim some heat efficiency back. I'm going to try the mass first.
Power plant capacity exceeded. Shields online.
65. So we've got we gained 0.02 of a jump range. I'm just wondering whether it would have been a bit better. So my usage is 75 now. I'm just wondering whether it would have been better to go with the thermal. Heat efficiency is down 10%. It's not going to make a massive difference. I'll take the stripped down one, I think. That is cost of mass, no good. Integrity on a power plant normally is a good thing to do. On an exploration ship, I don't think so much we need to do that, really. Okay. Now there's no experimental for this, so there's no point running one of these to get one. And all this is going to do is increase the integrity, pull down the power draw. So I'm going to leave it. Sensor. Lightweight, grade 5. Again. This is another one I'm going to have to bring another ship here to try and find out if I can do that. Heat sink launchers, again lightweight. Wow. I don't know if that's a bug. Why can't they convert certain things? Fuel scoops, is there anything on a fuel scoop? Just shielded. But that affects power draw. Not really bothered about that. Although that is a nice increase. And we can afford a little bit of power draw. Let's do that. Yeah, that's as far as I'm going to go on that one. And we're done. What am I missing here? We do that? No, we didn't. We missed the shields out. I knew something was missing. Okay, so we've got enhanced low power. Going to be sticking with that. Optimal hull mass is affected there. That's not necessarily a good thing then. So stripping these off might make for a better jump range. But I do need some decent shields. Let's see if we've got a better jump range at the moment. Yeah, we do. Look at that. I might be tempted just to leave this where it is, because if I start upgrading, that jump range is going to go down. So I know if I strip the mod off completely, my jump range is going to go right up. Let's take a look. Let's strip it and see what happens. I've only got 5D shields, and it's not great on a ship like this, but let's have a look. That's gone down. My jump range has gone down to 64.9. How could that possibly be? Well, let's take a look. Pop this back up. It's this. Alright. Let's take it all the way. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong, and taking it all the way to grade 5 will increase the jump range. So we'll go all the way to 5 and see where we are. And yeah, we managed to do it all with 100 iron. Or less. I don't think it's going to take another 27 rolls to get to here. So I'm interested in the thermals after this. So stick it into Super Cruise and see what the thermal signature on the ship is. If it's anything less than 22 is great. I'd love to see 18, but I don't think that's going to happen. But 18 would be awesome. Let's just complete it. Might as well use the iron up. Want to complete that mass. Circles went all orange, but there we go. Whoa, hello. We can strip it down even more. So we're looking at shields. So we've got fast charge. No issues on the mass there, which is great. So we can really boost the shield resistance and make it recharge faster. That's a nice little increase there. The thermal resistance on my shields is rubbish. Multi-weave affects power draw, but it gives you better resistances. Okay, that gives you better optimal strength at the expense of power draw. Increased resistance to thermal damage. Yeah, not so much. No. Strip down is good, and integrity is good. So strip down and fast charge. It depends what you want. If you want less weight, or you want a slightly better shields. For being out in deep space, I think I'd rather have the strip down. I think that does it. So, without looking at the jump range, I'm going to pop out. I want to make sure that whatever jump range it's going to show me now is what I've got, is the correct number.
Incoming message.
Where are we then? Let's have a look at the shields while we're here. Shields used to be 301. They are now 346. So we've got a slight increase on the shields and a much bigger increase on the armor. So if we do rip through our shields by landing heavily on a planet, the armor is going to have less damage to it. Maybe I could, I've got some empty slots in this ship, maybe I could carry one of those limpets that repair your hull. In fact, I probably would fit that in here. Of course it would mean adding limpets into the cargo, which adds weight, but hey. So my final jump range is from 62.62, 65.45. Didn't quite meet 65.5, but it's as near as damn it. Right, before we leave, we need to go into outfitting and compare the other numbers. So, previous mass of the ship was 603.9, it's now 603.5, so it's 0.4 of a ton less weight. The top speed was 232. Sorry, it was 248, now it's 232, so we've dropped, and the boost was 331, it's now 309. So we have dropped speed. But we did that for a reason, because we went to clean drive tuning, which gave us better thermals. If I find the thermals are still at 22%, then I probably will come back and switch it to dirty drives. The overall power has gone from 14.98 to 15.08, so we're using up a little bit more power now. But the maximum power was 15.6, now it's 17.47, so we're good there. And there you have it, the new Anaconda. Couple of things for me to look at, of course, those mods that wouldn't convert. There's possibly some lightweight versions of those and stripped down experimentals, which I can probably then push this to 65.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Vonneberg, I'm going to grab hold of a Sidewinder unmodded, I'm going to bring it here and have a look at those mods and see if it'll let me swap them over. Don't need to. See if it'll let me upgrade them to the way I want, and then I'll bring the Conda here and do the same thing. And then I think we are good to go. If that does work, I will add that on to the end of this video, and I'll let you know what the new final numbers are, because maybe we can make some slight improvements. So just reminding myself now what it was I needed to go and have a look at. I think it was life support. Sensors was 1, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. So sensors, and I don't think AFM's going to do anything. No, it wasn't that. So sensors, I think it was life support. Yeah, lightweight. Sensors and life support I want to take a look at. I can do that in a Sidewinder. And if they can go to grade 5 and we get better numbers, and we've got experimentals on them as well to strip them down, strip the mass off, then that's great. I'm fine with that. And heat sinks. So I'm going to put some heat sinks on the Sidewinder. Right. If I can improve, I'll be back in a second. If I can't, that's the end of the video. And thank you for watching, and I hope it helped. If it did, I'm going to say it again, please like, subscribe and help my channel. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye. Alright, I'm back. I had to come back because I had to let you know about the thermal signature, but also I've learned a few things about this ship since we've redone it, and we need to change some things. So we're going to go through them step by step. I've refilled my iron up to 100. I'm not going to need it all, but hey, there you go. So what's new? Well, the things that the modules that the engineer was refusing to do before, I've found out that on all of them I can strip them and redo them from the beginning. The life support only goes up to grade 4 anyway. The heat sinks go up to grade 5 and the sensors go up to grade 5, but none of them have got experimentals. So it's just a question of trying to get better numbers out of them. And they're all for lightweight, so maybe we can push the ship up to 65.5. The next thing is the distributor that I changed from engine focused to faster recharge. Now I can't boost. So that could be two reasons. One is that I need it to go back to engine focused again, because this ship before was very much on the edge when it came to all that stuff. I'm running minimal modules in order to get the better jump range. The other reason could be that the clean drives are sucking up more power than the dirty drives. If that's the case, then it's a question of changing the distributor back to engine focused and seeing if it can pull those clean drives, see if it can boost them, and if it can, we'll keep them. If not, and there's a massive difference in power draw, like if the dirties are less power, which they are, they do require less power, they are more efficient, then we'll need to switch over to those. The downside to that is that the clean drives are actually giving me 2% better thermal. I'm down to 20% now. Whether they're wholly responsible for that, I don't know. So let's get on with it. First thing we need to do is drop into outfitting. And we need to go to the core internals first, go to life support, go to modifications and remove it. Now we've got lightweight here. Currently, where's my pen? Currently it's 2.7 tons. Okay, so we want to try and beat that. The other thing is the heat sinks, of which I have only 2. That's down to 0.24 on that one. So we're going to remove that. This is going to affect jump range a little, as you can see. Quite a bit actually. We're down to 64.6 now. Modification on this one. This is 0.25. So I'm just going to write that down. I'm writing everything down because I really need to know what these changes are going to be, so that when we hit the live build, I'm going to know exactly what's going on. And the other thing, back into the core, is the sensors. And these are running from 64 tons down to 14.8, a massive decrease in weight. So we're going to be removing that. So look at the jump range now. Wow. Oh boy, that's not good. I am tempted to put the ship back as it was, if I'm honest. Go back to distributor fully engine focused and put the dirty drives back on. We're really going to have to see what's going on there. It's going to depend on, I don't know why why has that changed fire groups? Anyway, it's really going to depend on the difference. Let's have a look here in the power. So at clean, we're running 5.32 power draw. On the dirties, it's 5.14, so it's less power. So the first thing we're going to need to find out is, can a fully engine focused power distributor pull this thing as it is? Yeah, we just got to run it. I noticed how I'm going to get increased weapons and systems as well. But okay, we're going to have to run this all the way through and see if we can boost. Oops, that was a waste, doesn't matter, that's why I got 100. Why it can't just, like for example, I'm in 2, okay? Go to generate. Now why it can't move me down to 3 automatically, I don't know. Let's just keep going. I've certainly got enough iron to do all of this. Look at that. Come on, that's a grade 4 if I ever saw one. I think I only went to grade 3 with this last time. Can't remember. I think it started out as a grade 3. Anyway, we're going to take it all the way this time. So we are going to lose recharge, but there may be enough in the capacitor to do 2 boosts. I don't know. I just need it to do 1. Might as well push these to the end now. That engine capacity and engine recharge is really what I want to push. This is ridiculous, come on. And the experimental. Strip down. Right. Whether we can boost now is unknown. So we've done the distributor. The drive's changing to dirty, we're going to have to see. We'll test that out. So now we're going to come down to life support. And we're going to lightweight this all the way. Again, no experimentals here. The only thing that's affected is integrity. And I'll take that. Okay. Keep clicking there, I don't need to, but it's a good habit. Make sure you're getting the right one all the time. Right, this is concerning mass, so again, it's something I want to push to the very, very limit. I want to complete that circle. Keep going, I know the figures are the same, but I'm going to complete it. Alright. And the next one is the heat sinks, of which we have 2. Well, sensors is really the next one. This is the big guy. This is the one that has got a real big difference on mass. It's amazing how much materials you actually go through, really. Already down to 63. Nearly used up half of them. Right, how far can we push? Yeah, we're losing the target scan angle, but it's only by what? I don't know. I don't know what it started out. 25%, whatever that is. This is a really important one for weight, so we have to push this all the way. Okay. Heatsink launchers. We have to lightweight these. And these go to grade 5 as well. 47 left. Wow. That means if I want to do my thrusters, I'm going to have to go and get some more iron. Crazy. Depends how many rolls these take, I guess. We've done 158 rolls already, I think, on this ship. Come on, give me a good one. Come on. Oh, it's not too bad. Again, it's a mass related thing, so I have to give it everything. Because I want to squeeze every piece of jump range out of it. Obviously, once you start getting jump ranges into the changes into 0.0 something, it's not really going to make a difference. It might mean that you have one less jump over 3,000 light years. It's not really a big deal. Okay, so we've completed that one. And now we're just going to do this one. And that will give us... Oh, I did the wrong one. What a plonker. And this will give us everything lightweighted back to what it was. I'd like to hope we can hit 65.5 if those figures have gone back up. And if there are improvements to lightweight, which I don't know whether there are, well, we'll see. You know, with the new engineers over the old ones. The only thing that's really disappointed me was that my jump range, using the increased FSD mod, it didn't increase until I put an experimental on. I think I must have had, I don't know whether, I'm pretty sure I had one. Well, I had something on the old version because it was a damn good roll. I always knew that. But you don't get rolls anymore. These are not rolls. These are not rolls anymore because it's not a dice anymore. There's no randomness to it. So the whole roll thing is gone. Which means we can now start dropping the term God roll. It doesn't exist anymore in this new system, and I like that. Right, so we've done live support, we've done heat sinks, and we've done scanners. We've changed the distributor back to engine focus. Now then, I want to go into outfitting. Yep. Go into core. And I want to compare the weights of the three things that we've just done. So life support was 2.7. It is now 2. Look at the jump range, guys. 65.7. So yeah, we gained here. From 2.7, we're now down to 2 tons. The sensors, which were 14.8 tons, are now 12.8. So we've gained 2 more tons. And finally the heat sinks, which were 0.24 and 0.25, are now 0.2 each. That has given us a jump range of 65.78, which is 3.1 light years more per jump. It's not a lot if you think about it. 3.1 light years per jump. So in 10 jumps, you'll be 31 light years better off. You know, that's like half the jump range. I'd have to do 20 jumps before I can gain a jump over the previous Anaconda. Somewhere around there anyway, but still. I'm not going to complain at that, because that means it'll take me 20 jumps to do what the old Anaconda would do in 21 jumps. But it's still good. So, the question is, can it boost? So, we're going to have to put... Oh my god, I can't even get my pips to work. Let's just go to launch. Right, don't need any pips in weapons. So let's test. If I can boost, then I'm happy. If I can't, I have to switch down to dirty drives because they pull less power.
Ship released. Departure authorized.
We need more powerful lights. I've just put the lights of the ship on and it didn't light up anything. Alright, so let's go full throttle, and we got boost. We have our boost back, baby. Yeah, that's more or less about the same as it was last time. You see the capacitor charging back up now. Yeah, that's more or less. It may be slightly better. So if we hit Super Cruise, obviously the speeds, the only thing down on this ship from before is the speed.
4,
The actual
2,
top speed and boost speed.
engage.
But as I said, I was willing to sacrifice that. It's only 20 meters per second difference on the boost. I was willing to sacrifice that for better thermals. So let's see if this... Well, when I did the trip from Blackhide to Voneberg before, it stayed at 22. But for some reason, coming from Voneberg to Blackhide dropped the thermals down to 20. So 2022, you can see over on the right where it says hostile. Underneath is the thermal signature line. The thinner that line is, the cooler your ship's running. And that's a pretty thin line. I'm just letting the ship run on its own. I'm not piloting it at the moment. It's just running of its own accord. I'm very happy with that. I am. I'm happy with that jump range. 65.78, which is brilliant. Didn't quite meet the 66 that I would have liked, but hey. Status again, shield health went, as just a reminder, the shield health went from 301 to 346, but the hull has now gone from, or the armor has gone from 945 to 1377. So we've increased that armor by a considerable amount, 432 or something like that increase. But it hasn't changed the weight of the ship. There's no mass downside to that, and we still managed to get a much bigger jump range from the ship. And of course, if I make a jump, I'm losing fuel, so the next jump will probably be maybe 66. Who knows? So we're not down to 20 yet, but it does happen because it happened on the way over. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there, and that is going to be the end of the video because I am happy with the ship the way it is. I think it's certainly turned out better. There we go, 20%. If I leave it long enough, will it into deep space? Will it go down to 18? If it does, I'll pop it in the video description and let you know. If there's nothing written about it, then it didn't. So guys, that's it. We're done. I'm very happy. Everything's better. The speed could have stayed the same. I could have stayed with dirty drives. The fact that I switched to clean is the only reason why the speeds aren't improved or the same. I think they would have improved anyway. There would have been a slight improvement on top and boost, but I would have been running at 22% instead of 20. Would I be happy to still run at 22? Sure, why not? So I could switch to dirties if I want. But again, the top speed and the boost speed on an exploration ship really isn't relevant. I don't see it as relevant. I'd rather have the thermal gain. I don't know, it's just a personal preference. We are done. I would like to thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye. Yes, still here. So, made another slight change. Dropped the shields from 5D down to 4D. It still holds the maximum mass of the ship, so we're fine. Redid the modification, enhanced low power shields with the stripped down experimental. And now that gives me, let's pop into outfitting. Because it will also have changed my speeds and whatnot by a slight amount, but just so you get the figures. And my shield, of course, will have come down, but we'll take a look at those. Alright, so there's the jump range, 66, which was the goal. So, very happy with that. Top speed is 232 and 310 now, so not too bad. The mass is now down to 599, so 4 tons off. And finally, in the status section, the shield is down to 240 from 301. Resistance used to be 37.4, is now 40. Thermal was minus 25.2, it is now minus 20. And the explosive was 49.3 and it is now 50. So that's because we dropped down to the 4D shields. Compromises. There we go. A 66 light year jump Anaconda. Yeah, and that is it. That is definitely it now. I am out of here. Bye bye.